All right, here we go. I am here with superstar realtor Jeff Resnick from Northeast Ohio. Jeff is one of our trusted referral sources. We've done many home inspections over the years for Jeff, and I've asked Mr. Resnick to give us some of his opinions and viewpoints of home inspectors, what he likes, what he doesn't like, because not only is Jeff exposed to us as home inspectors, but he's also being a very seasoned realtor, has been exposed to many home inspectors over the years. Jeff's pretty high producer. So Jeff, thanks first of all for letting me interview on this. I think my audience is new home inspectors, experienced home inspectors across the country, as you know, and they know that their job is to do the best they can in the marketplace. Number one, number two, protect their client. Number three, try to play nice with the realtors so that they can build up a good steady stream of referral sources such as yourself across the country. And that's not the easiest thing to do. So with that said, Jeff, I'm going to turn it over to you, and you tell us how you feel about the process, what you're looking for in a inspector to partner with, so to speak, as well as what you've seen in the field that you don't like and that other realtors such as yourself don't like and do like. So without further ado, Jeff.
Well, thank you, Pete. Number one, what I look for in an inspector is knowledge and the ability to protect my client. I, not being an inspector, want my clients to know everything good about the house and everything bad about the house, and anything that is impairing at all, impeding on the safety and health of my particular buyers, I'm going to fight for, because it's the largest investment people are going to make is in a home. And I tell every one of my clients who want to get a deal done, or are willing to give up an inspection, don't give up the inspection. That's the most critical aspect. That's where the rubber meets the road. And it allows, I tell my buyers, the opportunity to, if it doesn't meet up to their satisfaction, to get a mutual release. And then we go and find another home. So I really look for details, and I really want a tough inspector. But at the same time, I don't want them to scare people away too in their approach. So I've had inspectors I've used that literally scare people away about how things are presented. So there's as much a need for communication amongst the inspector to the buyer as it is for the buyer to be trusting the inspector. So the buyer's looking for the truth. And that's what I've always received. And that's why I work with you.
And I appreciate that, Jeff. I think, in my opinion, you're maybe in the minority of producers who, really want a thorough inspection and every, detail that's reportable and accessible to be, discovered and communicated and discussed by that home inspector for your client. And I don't know, Jeff, I kind of get the feeling that not many realtors have that. Now, I could be wrong these days because I haven't been in the field for a while, but what's your opinion of that?
The pros, the true pros, want tough inspections because they realize that they're not in it for a short term, let's get the deal done, make a commission and move on. They realize that when they do the proper inspections and they catch some major problems and a mutual release is completed, what that does is fully reinforce the relationship with the buyer that you're on their team, and makes them feel the best, and then they become a referral source for you. So I've learned it's take care of people properly. And in regard to other realtors out there, there are many realtors that I know. Sad to say, they're looking for they'll have an inspection done, but they're looking for the cheapest, not cheapest, but easiest, unless there's something major that needs to get done. I want my clients to know everything, major, minor, because it's not my decision to tell a client what's major to them. But at the same time, I want to keep, the inspector has to keep the expectations real with the clients and have them understand if it's a 40 or 50-year-old home or 60-year-old home, there's going to be certain natural maintenance items in it. But again, drive them back to safety and health. And that's the area we're going to focus on. Every inspection, every one, I'm going to go after everything electrical, anything that's a safety and health. And I'm passionate about this because I never, ever, ever want somebody to get a home and find out it's a nightmare afterwards. If we need a sanitary sewer line inspection because of the amount of trees that are there and the really wide bases, I want to do it. Before them, I have to serve as an advisor to my clients. And I always say, do what the inspector says. Just do what they say. And that makes me at the end of the deal know that, you know what, they're going to have problems in any house they move into, Pete. We all know that. But the reality is I want that home to be checked as completely as humanly possible.
Now, Jeff, appreciate that. In your experience, let's say over the past couple years, and your exposure to many different home inspectors in our Northeast Ohio market, what percent of inspectors out there would you say walks that line of being thorough, being impartial, and being maybe non-alarming, not turning, molehills into mountains, but, is thorough enough that you feel comfortable in referring, that inspector, or, and I know that you do a lot of referrals with us, but just try, from your perspective, how many inspectors, what percent would you just guess are able to do that, to do those things that you've just communicated to us?
Probably about 25%. I see probably 3/4 of the inspectors out there either have reports that are non-comprehensible. That's a big thing for the buyers too. It's got to be packaged properly as your program allows. When my buyers get it, it's very easy for me to navigate them through it. And that's really, really important. And at the same time, there are some inspectors that really are alarmist about everything. Where I've seen it, where I don't want to work with them either, where a GFCI that needs to get done is not that major of an issue, or, certain maintenance items that are there. So the ones I can work with that I respect, and I've worked with various, I know a lot of inspectors over my years. I have about a pool of maybe 25% that I would really trust. But the reason why I use you guys is, and I say you guys, detailed home inspections, because you don't scare the clients, but they get a complete thorough report in a way that the inspectors are very straight up conversational people. And a lot of inspectors just don't have that human element. They get the job done, boom, 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 boom. Here's the report. And people are still people. So they want to know really, what would you recommend to me? And you guys always are honest about that, straight up. That's all your inspectors. So to me, I can refer anybody to you and know it's going to be taken care of. And I cannot say that about a lot of inspectors.
So again, valuable advice, Jeff. What advice would you give to, new guys and gals who, are trying to break into the business? There's, a lot of my audience are, new inspectors. They're going through training. They know it's a big jump to get to the point where, they can have, top realtors like yourself referring them. So, so from the top down, top looking down, maybe to that level of inspector who still, admittedly has a long way to go, in their process and their journey to becoming a successful home inspector in their market. What advice would you give?
Deal with everybody as a human being, I think, is the main thing. Be respectful. The old golden rule of treat others like you want to be treated. Treat them that way, because number one is they're entrusting you to be the conduit to whether or not they're going to be buying the biggest investment that they ever have in their life, which is their home. So I find it's very important to be very human, very people oriented, very respectful. not only of the people, but also the sellers, but their property and stuff like that. Try to explain things in a way that just a lay person can understand, and really tell them the truth. Tell them that what really needs to get done, that you are absolutely, it should be an undeniable that they do it, or it's major that it needs to get done, and be emphatic about that. Because I want my clients to hear that. And again, if they choose not to listen to your advice, which most people do listen to you and listen to me, that's on them. I want to know that we've led them down the path. And again, an inspector has to just be able to do things the way detailed home inspections does. Go from the outside of the house and have a meeting to go over the results, then start from the top and go all the way down. People understand inspections in pieces, parts. And when you do that and do it in pieces, by the time the actual inspection's over, the individuals, the buyers know what the house is all about. And that's really, really important. There's no ambiguity at all to that. And again, just be the advisor, be the consultant, but provide the advice as if your buyers were your family. And what would you recommend to them? I think that's really my words of advice to new inspectors.
That's great advice, Jeff. And I want to thank you again for agreeing.
Oh, my pleasure. My
to
pleasure.
have me interview you. It's important, I think, for our audience. And so once again, Jeff Resnick, top producing agent in Northeast Ohio. Appreciate your time, Jeff.
My pleasure. Thank you. Anything I can do, and have a great evening.